I think it's a great decision. I told him before he did it that I thought it was a great decision, a great move. And I said, if you feel comfortable there, don't keep going around looking. If you're comfortable, stay where you're comfortable at. Don't come to me with just confuse you more. And now you be like, well, should I go here? No, don't do that. If you're comfortable there, stay right there where you at. And then a couple days later, he said, okay, he stayed with James. He went with James. So that was perfect for him, I think, because James may be able to get him to apply the type of pressure that he needs to apply as a bigger man when he's fighting people like Usyk.
All right, Roy Jones Jr. believes that Anthony Joshua picking Derrick James as his new trainer is a good fit for him. He says he believes that Derrick James can teach him how to be aggressive and basically teach him how to land. Now, I will agree that I think Derrick James is good for Anthony Joshua as a trainer, but only in some elements, because we must not forget that Anthony Joshua's biggest issue is not nothing physical. It's all mental with Anthony Joshua. So he not only needs to get with somebody that can teach him to use his natural attributes, he also needs somebody that knows how to work with the mind and knows how to work with the mind of fighters, because that's really where Anthony Joshua suffers from. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua using his size and being aggressive and, needed to know how to close the gap and land, Derrick James is good for that. But the problem comes in is this. Because of Derrick James' style, and you could see it with Errol Spence and stuff like that, that might not necessarily be what he needs to defeat somebody like a Alexander Usyk or a Tyson Fury. And the reason why that is, what made Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali two of the most dynamic heavyweights that you have ever seen? What made them so special? They were big guys that threw combination punches, more than one punch, which was, it's kind of unheard of. It's not uncommon, but it's kind of unheard of, because you don't train heavyweights the same way that you train every other fighter. But to see a big guy that's mobile and can throw consecutive punches in a row, that's something that's rare in the heavyweight division. A big guy with good footwork, that throws combinations, that's what made Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali very special. And that's something that made them hard to deal with. Now, with the Derrick James style, if you notice, that combination punching, that's not part of his game, And my only fear of that is making Anthony Joshua more flat-footed and cemented-footed than he already is. Because one thing I know will work with Derrick James, that footwork is not going to improve, okay? That punch output is not going to improve. The aggression can improve. Using Anthony Joshua, using his natural attributes, all that can improve. But in order to beat somebody like a Tyson Fury and an Alexander Usyk, just landing ain't going to be good enough. Because where he suffered from in the Alexander Usyk fight was the fact that he was so flat-footed, and he was just basically cement feet. And with a guy like Usyk, he's light on his feet, so he has good footwork. And what do we just say about Mike Tyson, and what do we just say about Muhammad Ali? He's a heavyweight that can throw more than one punch at a time, and he can move. Now, you couple that with the Derrick James style, beyond just teaching him to be aggressive and land, where does that leave Anthony Joshua? It pretty much leaves him in the same pool. Just gives him, a little bit more confidence or a little bit more courage to go in there and use his natural size and attributes. Yes, that will aid to that. But in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, those are areas in which Derrick James don't shine too well in, and he don't put much emphasis on it. Okay? You can tell that from, like I say, Errol Spence and on down. And even Jamel Charlo. Jamel was a better boxer. Okay, he got with Derrick James, he became more of a power puncher. But you notice when he needed to defeat Tony Harrison, he had to go back to that boxing prowess that he came to Derrick James with. He had to return back to that because he got drunk on the power too, thinking, you know, he could just one shot everybody and do this and do that. No, Jamel had to get back on his boxing skills to compete with somebody like Tony Harrison. So I just bring all that up to say that although I think Derrick James is good for him in that light, dealing with that element of his game, I don't think that he should be the head coach. I think the only thing he should gain from Derrick James is the closing the gap, hitting, landing, and using your natural attributes. That's the only part that he should oversee as far as the camp go. But Anthony Joshua still got to work on that footwork. I keep telling all fighters need to work on throwing more punches. I don't know why we got into this era with this 1-2, you know what I'm saying, and then posture up. You know, I don't know where that era came from. The reason why those old school fights are so exciting today, go watch them right now. Punch output. Everybody was throwing them. You know, high level chest. That's the difference between the boxing matches we see today and the boxing matches of yesteryears. You can see a clear cut difference. You can put them side by side. These guys don't fight the same like the old school do. The old school was way more engaging. It was way more high level. Okay? Way more. So, like I said, although I think that it's good for Anthony Joshua in that element, there's still a few things that Anthony Joshua got to overcome that I don't think that Derrick James covered. And like I said, Anthony Joshua's problem is not primarily a physical thing. It's his mental. That's where somebody like Customato would be perfect for somebody like Anthony Joshua. I love Customato because he understood the psychology of fighters, and he put that first and foremost, because boxing is a mental game. It's not physical. Everybody sees physical, but they don't think about the mental part. This is a mental game. Physical second, but first is mental. He needs somebody to work with him on that aspect, because that is what got away from Anthony Joshua. You know, whatever confidence, whatever belief he had in his head prior to Andy Ruiz knocking that loose, he needs to get that part back, because that's what Andy Ruiz took from him. Okay? And that's what he's trying to get back through a trainer. But it's a mental hump that he's stuck behind. It's not a physical hump. You know? But other than that, you know, I think Derrick James can show him some stuff, and hopefully him training over here in the U.S. does him good. And somebody that trains Anthony Joshua, they need to go in there and treat Anthony Joshua like he ain't shit special. Get people in there, get sparring partners, because Anthony Joshua's one of his biggest problems is the people that they was getting to spar Anthony Joshua, man, they wasn't going in on Anthony Joshua, you know, and Robert Garcia spoke about that. They was up in there going soft on Anthony Joshua. So hopefully when he comes over here to the States, they put somebody in the ring with Anthony Joshua that's going to tax his ass, that's not there too worried about a check, but really go in there to test him, because if they tax his ass in that gym, it's going to be less taxing when he get up under those bright lights. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. Like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.